Yo, what's up family? Welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, kindly subscribe to this channel. And today we are reacting to something that's been stirring up a lot of conversation, especially online and across the diaspora. Yes guys, in this reaction video we dive into the growing conversation around the support Black Americans are showing for African-owned businesses despite past narratives claiming a boycott was in motion. We break down the facts, respond to the claims, and highlight the real unity and collaboration happening across the diaspora. Is this proof that the so-called boycott plan was never real, or is it being completely rejected by the community? Let's talk about it, guys. Join the conversation in the comments. What are your thoughts on this shift in support? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more honest reactions and discussions. Let's get into this. I'll be back.
What's going on, everybody? This Afro Think Tank. Listen, African Americans ain't boycotting no African businesses, okay? Now, FBA, the xenophobic hate cult of Tariq Nasheed, they might boycott African business. But more than likely, these Midwesterners and Western Africans, African Americans, they don't even know any African businesses. They don't even go to African business. They live with white people. All right, the people talking about they gonna boycott African business, they live with white people. All right, that's who they live with, right? Us African Americans who live on the East Coast, who live in Texas, who live in the South, and we live with African people. Guess what? We not boycotting no African businesses. Them's our brothers and sisters. All right, we don't hate ourselves. We know we African, and we're proud Africans that live in America. You see, we know we African because we know our ancestors didn't choose to immigrate to America. We don't attach ourselves to the system of white supremacy like you do nothing hateful ass Negroes do. That's what you do. If that's what you want to do, go right ahead. We know you're a micro minority. And the thing is, tomorrow, you guys are going to be embarrassed because you're going to show that you're ineffective. We're going to see, because you got to come outside. See, that's the thing about it. In order to boycott, you're going to have to show your boycott. Huh? You're going to have to kind of show you almost will have to go out there and stand out there, right? And just not walk in for it to be ineffective, right? But I know all you do nothing hateful ass because you hate yourselves. Negroes, y'all going to go to Target. Y'all going to go to Starbucks because y'all ain't got that same energy for them white folk. You got all our enemies surrounding us right now, attacking us left and right. But y'all focused on black people because it's an easy target. If you scared of white people, just say you scared. That's what it is. You scared to fight the real fight because you afraid you're going to get hurt. Because you are the weakest members of our community. You understand? If you call yourself FBA and you're proud of it and you ready to die on that hill, that means that you just found some sort of pride when a weak-ass C-listing can't rap fake pimp gave you the title. Y'all the same people that bounce from Muslim to Hebrew Israelite to Nubian to any kind of title, anything other than African, because you're afraid of yourself. You look in the mirror and you run away. Y'all want to be pretendians, but y'all want reparations. Reparations ain't for pretendians. Y'all living in a fantasy because y'all suffer from post-traumatic slave syndrome. You guys need therapy. You guys are hurt, broken the brain. Y'all broken Negroes. You are afraid to be African, afraid to be who you are. So you target yourself. You look in the mirror and you punch it to break it because you can't stand yourself. When you see an African, you see yourself. When you see African success and you not successful, you see what you could have did, but you can't because you ain't put the work in. That's what you see. You see us proud African Americans that secure in ourselves, that know that we are successful and we know we are African. Yeah, we're going to go to African business tomorrow. And I guarantee you, there's going to be plenty of videos of African Americans showing that they went and supported an African business. That's the truth. That's what's going to happen. This is the end for you FBA ADOS hateful white supremacist contractors. You white supremacists in blackface. You think you're going to fool us, African Americans? Do you know how many psyops have been played on African Americans over the years? Huh? Do you know how many times we're much smarter than you guys give us credit for? We're much smarter than you dumbass weak link Negroes. You understand? Our music tells you how proud we are to be African. Everything about us tells you how proud we are to be African. Even our intellectual capability, our intellectual journeys in this country tells you that we are proud to be African. As a matter of fact, even our weirdo hoteps tell you how proud we are to be Africa. We make African shit up. Even our ghetto names is an attempt to have African names and not be white. Tells you we proud to be African. We've always been proud to be African. Always. And if you think all of a sudden you're going to change the view of the world to make these Africans and Caribbeans think that all of a sudden, all of us African Americans, all of a sudden, when African people in droves of connecting with the continent of Africa and with their Caribbean brothers and sisters, while we having a mass exodus of Africans going to Africa, building businesses, building relationships, while we got thousands of Nigerians coming to the African-American community, bolstering our communities, marrying our women and marrying our men, connecting us back together. All of a sudden, we got these do-nothing, hateful-ass, self-hating ass Negroes that want to separate themselves like a bunch of bitches. Now, if you want to separate yourself, you can go on over there to the Ozark with them white folk. Go ahead and buy some land right next to them and make your little FBA villages. Y'all go return to the land over there. If you a native pretending, why don't you go find yourself a little piece of land, go make y'all a little FBA town, go build you some FBA villages and some FBA buildings, some FBA housing developments. Go make your little enclave of xenophobic, hateful Negroes that don't want to have nothing to do with Africa. And let's see how long you last when them white folks see you have any semblance of success. Let's see what they do to your bitch ass. While the rest of us African Americans tighten up and armor up with our brothers and sisters on the continent and in the Caribbean and protect ourselves on the eastern hemisphere of this country and connect ourselves on the western and central and eastern parts of Africa. While we go to the Caribbean and connect with our Caribbean brothers and sisters and make a fucking trifecta of real black power on this planet. Yeah, y'all go ahead and play over there in the corner somewhere with the weaklings while it's real strong black power, pan-African, pro-black African Americans do our thing over here. Because we don't need you. All right. Harriet Tubman could have saved so many more black people, only if they didn't know they were fucking slaves. And you guys are the ones that don't realize you're a fucking slave. So y'all go right over there, back onto the plantation, while we continue to liberate ourselves and display black excellence on the world stage. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. This is Afro Think Tank. Learn some, teach some. I'm out.
So guys, the claim was that the black Americans were supposedly planning to boycott African-owned businesses. Yeah, that's what was being said. But now we are seeing the exact opposite happening. Let's get into this. I'll be back.
What is this I'm seeing that we're boycotting African businesses and African stores and anything related Africans? Let me tell y'all. Having a disagreement with African is, as an African American, is like having a disagreement with your brothers and sisters at home. We are one regardless, and we do not intentionally go out and arm each other. We do not intentionally sabotage each other. They see us as one. It doesn't matter if you're from Jamaica, the Caribbean, Africa, African American. It does not matter. They see us as one. They treat us as one, and we are belittled as one. So whatever issue African American and African got going on, we need to find a way to resolve it, but not intentionally arm us. We do not intentionally arm our brothers and our sisters because we're having some kind of misunderstanding. We find out what the root cause of the issue is, and we resolve it. Africans are different than African Americans. African Americans are different from the Caribbean. And it does not matter. Freaking Jamaicans are different from Trinidadians. And Trinidadians think they're better than Jamaican. Jamaicans think they're better than Trinidadians. It's always going to be a rift because people have ego. People feel like they want to be superior. But it does not matter. We do not, under any circumstances, intentionally support other cultures and other people and diminish our own people. It's like diminishing yourself. And while it's not supposed to be done to anyone intentionally, we protect our people at all costs. So whatever the issue is, whatever little thing we got going on, we find a way to resolve it. We do not boycott African stores. We do not African braiding shops. We do not boycott anything Africans because we're boycotting ourselves. We're diminishing the black culture. We're diminishing ourselves. They're not putting Africans separate from African American when they're alienating us. When they're sabotaging and doing us harm, they're not separating us. They see us as one. So why would we do harm to ourselves? If African Americans are not doing good in America, blacks in America are not doing good.
Hold up, guys. Before we even get deep into this, let me say this real quick. Who was really pushing that boycott narrative in the first place? Because from what I've seen, most black Americans have been doing the exact opposite. They are supporting, they are investing, they are collaborating, they are traveling and building with African brothers and sisters. Yeah, let's get into this. I'll be back.
All right, now it's August 1st. Don't forget, today is Spend Money with Black Americans Only for the rest of your life. That's right, man. We're not just doing no boycott because after the boycott is over or whatever y'all doing with that, y'all are going to eventually spend y'all money with them again. So instead of doing that, let's just intentionally spend with only FBA members and other Black Americans that give back into our communities that benefit all of us in the long run. And by all of us, I mean me, our kids' kids, and generations to come after them. Let's start creating a system now. The boycott is not just for the Africans, the boycott is for everyone that's not putting into our systems and putting into our communities. Peace and love.
I'm really trying to stop talking about the Black American versus African situation because honestly, I don't really care that much. It doesn't do anything for my everyday lived experience as a Black American. I really don't run into immigrants that much. Like, my whole life is with Black Americans. All my friends are Black American. My husband's a Black American. Everybody I run into on a daily basis pretty much is a Black American. And I'm saying that as someone who lives in New Jersey, where if you're going to run into a Black immigrant, it's going to be in New Jersey or New York. This is where most of Black immigrants live. But now, for some reason, my TikToks on the Black American experience in America with regards to relating to Africans has reached Africa. And they are coming into my comments in droves to try to dispute what I'm saying from another continent. And I'm just talking about my lived experience. It's very, very odd to me because it feels like speaking about the Black American experience is somehow makes Africans insecure. And they don't come in my comments and say, we don't care, we don't care. Yes, you do. Because people keep coming into my comments. One called me MAGA. And I'm like, what do you mean? I can't be proud of being Black American without them feeling like I'm rejecting them. I'm not rejecting you as an African. I'm not rejecting Africa by asserting my pride of being Black American. Two things can exist at the same time. It's like, it feels like they thought we were like their distant cousins that they could just like talk about, the part of the family that they, wanted to shun and talk about. And then when that part was like, okay, it's like as a Black American, it feels like the family member who said, okay, I'm not coming to Thanksgiving anymore. And then they got mad, even though every time I came to Thanksgiving, you talk shit about me. It feels like to them, me asserting my own culture and my own identity as a Black American is somehow a rejection of them. And it's not. Two things can exist at the same time.
What up, my people? What up, man? I got something to say. It's a trend going on as far as African Americans, quote unquote, boycotting African businesses, right? And we've been hearing a lot about, they disrespecting us and they don't like us and they talk so bad about us and all this stuff, which is true in a lot of cases. You can't come to another country and then talk some shit, you know what I'm saying? And think it's going to fly with the people that live there, But I'm going to say this. You want to boycott African businesses, but meanwhile, the Asian business is still going, You're going to buy nails and get your feet done and all that stuff. The people, that's the Indians that own they shops. You still going over there buying all they shit. And We've been disrespected for years with them, but yet and still they continue to grow strong. You know, the Chinese spot, we all over there, you know. We've been disrespected by everybody. Hell, we even buy more Mexican food than anybody else. There ain't nobody going to our soul food spots like we going to theirs. So I'm trying to figure out how you gonna boycott the Africans, but yet and still everybody that disrespected your black ass is still in business. See, we always so tough when it comes to us. You know? We always so tough. But when it comes to other races, all we do is sell wolf tickets. Ooh! But no real wolf pack. Now, stop saying Africans don't like us, honestly. For somebody that been engulfed around Africans and somebody that been to Africa, let me tell y'all something, man. The Africans that usually talk the most trash about African Americans is usually the Nigerians that be talking that trash. The Ghanaians, they be cool as hell. You know what I'm saying? The Zulus, they'll get down with you. Anybody from South Africa, they'll get down with you because they can identify through the struggles that we've been through, because they know how to fight for, you know, their rights, just like we did. You know, they had Nelson Mandela, so they already know what it is. You know, they gonna vibe with you. But with all in all that being said, I'm gonna say this: Africans don't even like Africans like that. They don't even like Africans like that. And for somebody that was like a somewhat of a deacon at a Nigerian church for a couple of years, I didn't know that they had status based on tribes and all that other stuff. And I would hear how they be talking about people's tribes, even though they be from Nigeria and all that. And I'd be like, well, damn, what you saying about me? But all Africans talk shit about Africans. See, the main reason why African Americans are mad, which I understand it, is because you're coming over here talking that shit. You know, y'all over there talking shit amongst each other, but y'all coming over here talking that shit, and you can't do that shit. But I understand for somebody that dated African women, they said in process of getting their green cards, they got to go through all of this stuff, and then they got to watch videos. So they kind of brainwashed in on how African Americans are, and they are encouraged not to deal with African Americans. So your country, your government, you know, they are training Africans not to like us so they can get their green card. You know, this is how I know it's Jacob's trouble. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I stopped going into that Nigerian church and stuff like that is because I came in the truth of being a Hebrew Israelite. I don't consider myself as African. I consider myself as the people of the Bible, the true Hebrews. Okay? You know, that's neither here nor there on this video. But I'm going to be real with you. We want to boycott that, but yet and still, we don't want to stop the gangs. Look how many young cats in America, all these YNs are wilding out in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? I work in Chicago. I see this shit in real time. We want to boycott that, but we can't stop our kids. We can't raise our kids right? We want to allow Bloods and Crips, people like 4Extra, to be our role models. We ain't boycotting that shit, right? We hurting our own people through these gangs, but we ain't stopped that shit. But we want to shut down people from making money. But actually, we can slow them down from making money, right? But you don't want to stop these gangs from taking young people's lives, robbing our houses, snitches get stitches, all this other bullshit. We don't stop that, but we want to boycott this. We got our priorities fucked up, man. Straight fucked up. But drop a comment, let me know what you think. Peace.
So let me get this straight. Y'all was in literal shambles when y'all didn't want to boycott Target, Gucci, all of them people who said they didn't fucking like us. But y'all so quick. Y'all moving swiftly to shut down the black business. I'm not boycotting no African braiding shop. Like the first chance Target got, the split second Target got to say, I don't fucking like y'all. They took the motherfucking mask off and was hard ER with the shits. And y'all still was like, yeah, I'm still gonna fuck with Target. But the only motherfuckers that could grip that little ass piece of hair at the back of your head, you wanna fucking boycott them? Really? I'll be so quick to tear down your own people before you would tear down a motherfucker who don't even like your own people. Like, these people told us to our face, yeah, we don't fuck with y'all. And y'all still went to their businesses, but y'all want to tear down your own fucking people. The people that been with you since you was kids. Some of y'all been getting y'all hair braided since y'all was 4, bitch, or younger. And y'all want to try to boycott them for what? The fuck, half y'all don't even know why. I don't even know why. And I don't give a fuck. Most of y'all want to boycott a motherfucker just because y'all see it's your own people that's doing good and y'all not doing good. That's some hating ass shit. But black people is the only motherfuckers that I know that will sit here and do whatever they can to tear down their own people. Y'all don't never want to see our own people do good. It's not.
August 1st, we are not boycotting African businesses. Tomorrow, we are investing in all black-owned businesses. Get your behind up and go spend some money with an African business, an African-American business, Afro-Caribbean business, black.
Yeah, you see that right there? That's community, that's progress, that's people realizing we don't need to be divided just because of what someone on the internet said. If anything, folks are waking up to the fact that we are stronger when we move as a collective. I think what's really happening is that some outside forces, and let's be real, maybe even a few inside ones too, are trying to start drama between Africans and African Americans. But the reality on the ground, people are building bridges, not burning them. Yes, I've seen black-owned brands here that are working with African producers. I've seen African businesses getting major support from the diaspora. People are going to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, starting businesses, buying land, even learning the languages. Like, we are really doing this. Yeah, so when someone says that black Americans are boycotting African businesses, I gotta ask, who is really saying that? Where is the proof? Because all I see is love, unity, and a desire to reconnect with our roots. Yes, and this ain't just about business, it's about healing. It is about rebuilding and reclaiming what was lost. It's about saying we may have been separated, but we are not strangers. Yes, and what we have to listen to this. I want to know what you think. Are we seeing a real shift in how the diaspora is connecting? Do you think the boycott talk was ever real or just internet noise? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's have that real conversation, guys. Alright fam, that's my take on it. If you got value from this video, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and of course, subscribe for more real talks, real reactions, and also subscribe for more deep dives. Yes, much love guys, stay conscious, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Of course, all credit belongs to the original creators of these video clips, and this video is meant for educational purposes, and also we have entertainers here. It is also meant for entertainment purposes as well. So thank you guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I will really love to know your views on this. Thank you.